Remember Drew Bundy Brown? He was Muhammad Ali's corner man. And he didn't teach him how to fight. He didn't coach him in the ring. He wasn't part of his conditioning program. But what he did do was to keep Muhammad Ali focused on the idea that he was Muhammad Ali and what that meant and what the brand meant, and was kind of the cheerleader, the muse, and the supporter that kept Ali's spirits up and kept his unique approach going. That's what Steve Bannon does for Donald Trump. Before Bannon got there, Trump was a bundle of very good instincts, but had very little idea of how to translate them into either a political campaign or, after he got elected, into governmental policy. But Bannon solved all that and really gave Trump and the administration a direction and a purpose. Under his guidance and as a response to his pushing, 50 or 60 major executive orders were issued, rolling back a panoply of Obama initiatives in the environment and consumer stuff, at the FTC, at the SEC, the IRS, the Obamacare law, all kinds of stuff, the Justice Department. Very important initiatives that would not have happened if Bannon had not been in there pushing them. Now, you know the establishment hates Donald Trump, and they're afraid of him, and they want to make him back into George Bush, some mild-mannered, not very strong, compliant creature for the status quo. And to do that, they had to get rid of two people, Mike Flynn and Steve Bannon. Mike Flynn in foreign policy and Bannon in domestic policy. Flynn was a take-no-prisoners, different kind of a guy who aggressively condemned radical Islam, went out there on a limb to talk about it, and was determined to be aggressive and strong and change the way the United States fought the war on terror. Bannon is kind of the conservative equivalent of Michael Moore. He's got a blue-collar approach to stuff. He's kind of has the approach of an unemployed steel worker or unemployed car worker. He identifies with those folks, and it was his program and his brilliance that focused on the high school educated, unemployed, single white male or married white male, but focused on those people and caused this huge tidal wave of support to shift to Trump in the 3 weeks before Election Day that enabled him to carry the northern industrial states. If they succeed, they meaning the establishment, in kicking Bannon out, this whole administration is going to be filled with Rex Tillersons and McMasterses and Reince Priebus's and the Goldman Sachs types, the normal routine stuff you find in any Republican administration. And while Trump will have instincts that are very different from those, he's going to have an almost impossible time getting them through the bureaucracy and out the door and translated into policy unless he has a key ally in the administration. I served that purpose sometimes for Bill Clinton when he was trying to move the party in the country to the center over the opposition of Stephanopoulos and Panetta and Ickes and almost the entire cabinet. And it was a very lonely, hard fight. But I obviously couldn't have done it without the president, but he couldn't have done it without me, or at least somebody like me, as his ally, as his chief staff person, helping him move this stuff and push this stuff. So the question of whether Bannon stays or goes, which is hanging fire at the moment, is really the question as to whether the Bush administration, whether the Trump administration fades back and in effect becomes the Bush administration and becomes your sort of mainstream establishment Republican government, or does it strike out in the same kind of bold, innovative directions that Donald Trump did during the campaign and has done thus far during his presidency. Thanks very much for watching.